The recently concluded spectrum auctions fetched the government close to 1,10,000 crore rupees, and more spectrum sale is lined up. And does the industry have the stomach to really buy more airwaves? To answer that and a lot more, we have with us Telecom Minister, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, speaking exclusively to ET Now. So thank you so much for taking out the time. So going into these auctions, there was a lot of talk about the pricing, and in fact the industry had even taken a position that it would not bid so aggressively. But looking at the collections, the government's position on pricing has been vindicated.
In fact, the government position has been vindicated on a lot of issues. The first, there is no adequate spectrum, particularly on 2100 megahertz. Now we offered 85 megahertz for sale, and 15 has been left out. There was adequate spectrum. Secondly, they said prices will touch the roof.
Right.
It didn't happen. You know why all this has happened? Transparency, reasonable fairness, predictable norms. We offered the highest quantity of spectrum available in all the bands, namely 800, 900, 1800, 2100. Flexibility was there. This spectrum usage charge norms were laid down. Liberalization of 800 was done. Most of all, I am sitting and talking to you in Sanchar Bhavan, which was in the news for all the wrong reasons for the last so many years.
Right.
And I had to make extra effort to rescue the sense of hope in the department.
Right.
And once the department, people knew that this minister has no personal agenda. Everything will be fair, transparent, under the overall leadership of the Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi.
Right.
The people responded. You know what is my take? 97 crore mobile phones in India. 30 crore internet connectivity in India. The great future lying ahead because of digital India in terms of expansion of broadband. Therefore, the players know India is a big market and also a big emerging market. And this 97 crore is going to become 100 crore very soon. You shouldn't forget it. In that view of the matter, this kind of price was certainly bound to come. One more misconception I want to dispel, that many operators were going to have their license expire, therefore they had to do it.
Right. That's correct. A lot of them said that it's a scarcity-induced auction. Yes.
We offered 470 megahertz in various bands. About hardly 170 was the expiring license quantity. Therefore, more than 67% was additional. That also went for a very good amount. Yes, I am thankful to the operators, to my officers, to the department, that the highest ever auction amount we have been able to achieve.
So it was because of the business case that they were really bidding aggressively. It was not really that much of a scarcity-induced auction.
Obviously, India is a big market. Let's not forget it. We have overtaken America in terms of internet connectivity, as the service providers tell me. I am very pleased, very impressed. But most of all, the PM's initiative to make India a digitally empowered society is a great business proposition and a promising future.
Right. So now that the auctions are over, the legal case is still pending. Do you think it's time the industry moves on in the interest of the ecosystem, in the interest of Indian Telecom? It should actually move on from the legal case that was filed before the auction.
India is a free country. Anyone has got the right to move the court.
Right.
And on pending issues, I will not be able to make any comment. I should not.
Right.
Being a senior lawyer and former law minister also.
True.
But having said that, I would certainly flag this. If you have no complaint because of the fairness, the entire transparency in the auction process, it is entirely for the operators to take a call. Should they allow the case to linger on? They have got the right to. How can I say? I would not grudge some of my eminent friends of the fraternity, lawyers, appearing for them and even making good money. That they, in lighter vein, you must clarify.
Of course. But sir, does it not make for a case to now probably move on, given that the auction proceeds have come, a part of that has already come in? Don't you think that industry should in fact
Obviously,
move on?
It is entirely for them to consider. You see, my norm is very clear. Whatever is doable shall be done, regardless of whatever you do or not do. And whatever is not possible shall not be done, regardless of what you do.
Right.
With that mantra as the guiding force, I am determined to restore the glory of this department with twin objectives in mind, which I have always stated: consumer satisfaction and growth of the telecom sector.
Sir, why is it that you have the industry and the government always on two sides on all important issues? What is the reason for the industry to be such a
I'm sorry, I'm
nature?
not. I'm not.
Okay.
As I said jokingly, industry people will be the happiest if I give them a spectrum for free.
Yeah. Right.
I can't do that. World over it is not done. But only is a matter of assurances that whatever misgivings they had, genuine or motivated, turned out to be misplaced.
Right.
Therefore, perhaps it is the case for a new beginning. I have told my officers whatever is required to be done further for the growth of the sector, I am quite open for that.
So what would that be if we were to talk about in terms of specifics going forward,
policy
decisions?
You know, there is already a high-powered committee headed by the secretary. They have been hearing them. Whether there is a case to revisit some of the penalty provisions, make it more transparent, more predictable, I am open for that. Sharing and trading of spectrum guidelines are going to be in place very soon. They have been worked out. Right. You know it in terms of law. If the Telecom Commission differs with the authority recommendation of the TRAI, it has to be revisited.
Back,
Therefore, all the legal compliances will be done, and it will be done very quickly. As I said, this was not the last auction of the NDA government.
Right.
And the NDA government is going to stay here quite a good number of years.
Right.
Because we have a definite agenda of development of growth. And in the scheme of Honorable the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, digital connectivity, broadband availability, and India becoming a more digitally empowered society. And as I always say, bridging the gap between digital haves and digital have-nots.
It's a huge agenda for the government. Right?
In that way of the matter, the telecom operators have to play a very crucial role. The internet service providers have to play a very crucial role. I hope they will understand that larger horizon with which this government is functioning.
But sir, do you think the Digital India initiative, does it get compromised if, let's say, spectrum acquisition costs become high? Because the industry has been saying that now there is no money to invest, there is no money to really take broadband to the rural areas. Does it not impact your Digital India campaign?
I think I should not sit in judgment over the balance sheet of the current companies, okay? Except to say with full sense of responsibility that India is a huge market.
Right.
India is an enormous, potentially promising market. And therefore, it will be a win-win for all. And obviously, consumer will be driven by competition. And there can be a lot of rates also, boxes can come about entirely for the companies to take a call on that, depending upon their business viability. Right. Therefore, I am not at all concerned. The huge size of India's market, I would say, is the biggest incentive. And also the market which is going to expand very soon because of what I have said earlier.
So speaking of the impact of the auction, you have mentioned that there will only be a marginal impact in terms of tariff. COAI, the GSM industry body, said the impact would be as much as 12 to 15%. Do you think in the event of a tariff hike being as much as 15%, it makes for a case of the government to step in, given that it would be anti-consumer?
First of all, you must understand what I had said. I very firmly hold that it will be negligible.
Okay.
I'm aware of the fact that mobile rates in India are at point number 4 from the bottom in the entire world.
Right.
And this business case has emerged because of the huge market potential of India, 97 crore mobile phone plus. And I'm sure, while I'll compliment all the telecom service providers for the great work they have done, but I'm sure they have been able to expand because of the sheer good business case also, supplemented by volume. But what I had said very specifically, a very good expert whom I learned to respect, let me not name him, has said a simple arithmetic. In terms of TRAI report, an Indian consumer consumes mobile time 350 minutes per month. Right. You multiply, and this spectrum cost is for 20 years.
Right, of course, yeah.
Therefore, the load will come to 5,300 crores. The total revenue rollover yearly is 2 lakh crore of all the combined telecom operators. So 2 lakh crore is their revenue rollover. 5,300 crore will come the annual load. Right. Therefore, you multiply 97 crore into 350 into 12 months, 1 month each year. You get a number. You divide that by 5,300 crore, it hardly comes 1 paisa on an average. Therefore, even that is minimum depending on the business proposition.
Right.
Therefore, what I have said is very objectively I have sought to explain
But
it.
then, sir, the industry is completely divergent on this, which brings me back to my point.
I am not supposed to come with a tu-tu mama with the industry. I am the minister. I hope you must understand that. If they have their view, let them take their business case.
Right. Okay, moving on. Quality of service has deteriorated very significantly in the last couple of quarters, in fact, the last couple of years. Do you think now with more spectrum holding available with telecom companies, it makes for a case for a much higher quality of service? And do you think the government has all rights to actually ask for a superior quality of service?
As far as improvement of quality is concerned, I have certainly an obligation and right as far as PSUs are concerned.
Right.
You know, BSNL revival is my top agenda.
Right.
They are going to install 25,000 new towers under the 7th phase. Many have been installed. New generation exchanges are being installed. In case of MTNL in Delhi and Mumbai, they are going to install about 1,800 new towers.
Yeah.
You know, this always baffled me, and I want to flag it on your channel. BSNL was in profit of 10,000 crore in 2004, Mr. Bajpayee demitted office.
Right.
Today it is on a 9,000 crore loss.
Yeah.
Under Dr. Manmohan Singh.
Right.
Why it happened? Which were the forces which were keen to ensure that BSNL comes into loss? The same is the case MTNL. I don't want to go into the past, but I am proving them. Let me only say through your channel to all the private operators, as a Minister of India, I am equally accountable to the consumers of India.
Right.
And if the consumers of India are complaining, there are a lot of call drops even in case of private operators.
Right, absolutely.
They must take this caveat and suggestions earnestly and improve. Now the spectrum is available, let them reinforce things. Because in a sheer promising business case of India, those who deliver good services are bound to have good customers.
Right. Which just brings me back to the point you mentioned, it's a caveat for private telecom companies. What is the recourse available for the government in the event that quality of service doesn't improve?
You know, as far as quality of service is concerned, TRAI is the authority.
Absolutely, yes. It comes out with the quality of service indicators.
Yes.
That is correct.
I can only counsel as a minister. I can sensitize them.
Right.
I can advise them gently. And I can bring to their notice, individually and publicly, the concerns of the consumers of India, which I am doing.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.